Forget tasers, there's a creature in the Amazon River that's been delivering electric shocks since long before humans figured out batteries. Yup, we're talking about electric eels, the living power banks of the animal kingdom. And no, they're not just swimming around zapping things for fun. These guys use electricity for hunting, self-defense, and even communication. Whoa, but how do they do it? How does a fish? Yeah, by the way, it's not actually an eel, it's more like a catfish cousin. But we'll let that slide because electric catfish doesn't sound nearly as cool. Let's start with the mind-blowing fact that an electric eel can produce a shock of up to 600 volts. To put that into perspective, your typical wall socket gives out 120 volts. So imagine getting hit by 5 wall sockets at once underwater. And the craziest part? The eel can do it repeatedly without needing to recharge. Here's how it works. The electric eel's body is basically a human-engineered power grid, but way more efficient. Its body is made up of specialized cells called electrocytes, which are like tiny biological batteries. When the eel feels threatened or spots a meal, these cells release ions that create an electric current. And bam, shockwave. Now you're probably wondering, why would a fish need to produce electricity? Can't it just swim around like normal fish? Nope. Because the Amazon River is a dangerous place. It's dark, murky, and full of predators. So instead of relying on sight, the electric eel uses its electric fields to navigate, hunt, and stay alive. Basically, it's like having built-in sonar and a built-in taser. When the eel is on the hunt, it sends out low-voltage pulses to scan its surroundings, kind of like a biological metal detector. But when it finds prey, that's when things get real shocking. The eel sends out a high-voltage shock that can stun or kill its prey instantly. Imagine being a fish, minding your own business, and suddenly, zap! Lights out. But wait, it gets even crazier. Electric eels don't just zap once and call it a day. They can deliver multiple shocks in quick succession. It's like a machine gun, but instead of bullets, it's firing electricity. And get this, the shocks are so powerful that electric eels have been known to jump out of the water to attack threats. Yeah, they'll come for you. There's even a story about Alexander von Humboldt, a 19th century scientist who witnessed electric eels attacking horses. Local fishermen would drive horses into the water to lure the eels out, and the eels would launch themselves at the horses, delivering shock after shock. Talk about committed self-defense. But electric eels aren't just aggressive zap machines. They're also surprisingly smart. They've been observed using their electricity in clever ways, like double-tapping prey with a low-voltage pulse to make them twitch and reveal their location. That's right, the electric eel can manipulate its prey's muscles with electricity. And here's something wild. Electric eels have 3 different electric organs in their bodies. One for navigation, one for communication, and one for that big shocking punch. 3 organs, 1 superpower. Now you might be thinking, how does the eel not shock itself? Great question. Scientists are still figuring that out, but here's the theory. The electric eel's skin is super thick, acting as an insulator. Plus, the eel's vital organs are all packed into its front 20%, so they're far from the electric blast zone. Basically, the eel is built to handle its own shocks. But don't get too comfortable. Because if you're in the water and an electric eel decides it doesn't like you, you're in trouble. People have drowned after being shocked by eels, not because the shock itself was deadly, but because it paralyzed their muscles, leaving them unable to swim. So yeah, respect the eel. But here's a twist, electric eels aren't just shocking creatures. They've actually inspired human technology. Scientists have studied electric eels to create better batteries, medical devices, and even energy storage solutions. Basically, this fish is teaching us how to power our future. And let's not forget, electric eels are pretty stylish too. They've got that sleek dark body with a yellow underbelly, making them look like they're always dressed for a fancy underwater party. A party you're probably not invited to, unless you enjoy getting zapped. But seriously, if you ever find yourself in the Amazon, stay out of their way. Because the electric eel doesn't care if you're a fish, a predator, or even a human, it'll shock first and ask questions never. Oh, and one last thing. Last year, I didn't hit 100 subscribers. Honestly, I feel like an electric eel shocked my dreams. But this year, we're turning it around. Help me get to 100 subscribers before the end of the month. And if you don't, well, let's just say I've been thinking of getting a pet electric eel. And it might be looking for new targets.